proposed a very, how to say, a very sensitive intervention. So they just made a layer of water and you could walk through it, you could feel the water in your feet, and they wanted people to explore how a building can come to ruins and how you're going to be here for a finite period of time. So buildings collapse and we will disappear eventually. So that time to think about your feelings and connecting with the building through a mirror of water was a very interesting approach. The second group was doing something in a similar way, but they were doing a bath of water with reminding an aqueduct that supplied water to that area. And at the end of this path, you could experience not only the sound or looking at the water, but you could go through the water like if you were under the rain and the sound of the water falling. Very beautiful intervention in this amazing building. The third group, on the other hand, they didn't explore water so much, but they explore sound because they thought that a hammam is not only about cleaning with water, but about getting rid of the bustling sounds of the city, having a time to think about yourself. So they made an intervention where they left all the noisy activities outside and they only brought calmness and quietness to be able to concentrate on yourself and on the fabric and the experience that you have inside the proposal. The fourth group, which is an absolutely daring, we really were very surprised because a group of students, they saw this building as part of an alien lighthouse, because when they were inside, they saw all these holes and they thought that it was like a way to connect with the universe or the galaxy. So they even, you can see in the middle image that they even invented a new typography, a new alien typography. So it was extremely interesting to see this young, new approach and perspective, and how to be a little bit of a rebel when you are designing. And this is something that we really liked. And the final proposal of the students, it was to do a catwalk. And surprisingly, they connected a catwalk and a fashion show, which is something absolutely modern, but they were able to connect it with the uses of this old building, because inside there were rooms to change your clothes, and they were using those rooms for that. And they recovered the old paths around the building to make this catwalk. So they did something very modern, but being extremely respectful with the building. So now getting to the end, we saw that as different as all these proposals might be, that they have some things in common. They all use water as a reflective element. They all took advantage of the light in or out of the perforated ceiling, and they generated sensory routes using sound, using the remainings of the old paths, and they all worked mixing the ephemeral with the perennial. So in the end, and to finish our presentation, we think that we had our three main objectives achieved. The first one was to learn, to teach students how to approach historical buildings, but not as something that cannot be moved, cannot be touched, but as living organisms that need to be taken care of. The second objective is that they were completely able to learn how to connect the past and the present, but without losing the core values of the building and the local community. And the third one is we try to give them the tools to use adaptive reuse as a tool to create iconic landmarks, but for the benefit of the community. And well, this is the last image, just to finish, because with the physical mobility, I really like this picture because for me and for my students, something that was very surprising is the way that in Turkey, the society treats pets and animals in general. We were extremely very surprised. You cannot see a cat or a pet in the street here in Spain, and if you see them, they are going to be scared of humans. So, but then in Turkey, it's extremely common. So, this different approach, this different cultural perspectives need to be tackled and need to be done by the physical mobility. So, we really are very happy to have done that, and we have learned a lot, and I really hope that we will continue with our network. Thank you very much, and we will be very happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much for your very interesting presentation. So you shared with us your experience of an international summer school in interior design education, and we wish you all the best in the future. So let's move to our second speaker, Dr. Ibrahim Hakan Gover. If you are ready, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor. And sorry for the inconvenience.
You're welcome.
Let me share my screen. I think you can see my screen now.
Yes,
Okay.
we can, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, our topic is adding global challenges to higher education curriculum, AGU case. This study was prepared both by me and Associated Professor Asım Mustafa Ayten. The first author is also attending the session. So let me proceed. In this topic, the critical term is global challenges or global issues, problems, whatever it is. So first of all, we should clearly define what the global issues are. These are the problems affecting all the world in terms of social, economical, natural, or environmental aspects. So these are complex issues and affect not countries, nations, but also all the countries, nations. So therefore, these challenges require collaboration between countries and disciplines. We can count some of these challenges as climate change or global warming, something like that. There are two common features of these challenges. Their broad scope, inclusiveness, and their connectedness. So they are interconnected to each other. For example, let's take a climate change example. This challenge also affects millions of people from different countries and also contributes to the poverty. And the last point, not natural problems, but also technological things also led to new kind of challenges. For example, cybersecurity or some ethical implications due to biotechnology, for example, COVID-19. Okay, why these SDGs or global issues are very important? There are three critical questions to be answered here. You know, in the world, we have got lots of animals, millions of animals, trees, and millions of people, different cultures, and different nations. The three questions are here. What would the world look like if only several animals lived in the world? This is also valid for the other things, for the trees and the cultures. So we come to a result that if there is no diversification, that means there is no life. Diversification is very critical because it is the richness of the world. So we should keep all these kind of diversifications in terms of biological, cultural and social. So these are the SDGs, United Nations SDGs, or it's called global goals. This term, SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. These are the total 17 action plans established by the United Nations in 2015. And United Nations targets to overcome, to achieve all these issues within the 6 years. Let's see all these global issues in a table. You see here, no poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education, gender equality, also other things, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, and the lastly, partnership for the goals. Total 17 SDGs goals. Other than establishing 17 SDGs, United Nations also established some targets and indicators as subcategories. So today we have total 169 targets and 244 indicators. Especially these targets and indicators are for whether or not we can achieve these goals, to understand whether or not these goals. So maybe we can mention, we can talk about the history of the SDGs. SDGs, the roots or the origin of the SDGs dates back or goes back to the 1992 Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro conference. And then Millennium Summit was established and 8 MDGs, it's called Millennium Development Goals, and other things, other milestones. Maybe we can summarize all these things in this table. You can see all these things here from 1992 and 2021. But the critical date is 2015, and the first thing. Okay, maybe we can ask that most people think that poverty and drought or water problem unique to some poor countries or undeveloped countries. Unique to African countries or some Asian or some Latin American countries. Why developed or developing countries should pay the bill, will pay the bill? So these are not local, but not local or national issues. In reality, it is a global issues. I mean, we are living in a world, global world, international world. So we have a domino effect, boomerang effect in this world. Let's think about the people migrating from the Middle East due to Syrian war. They want to go to both developing countries and developed countries. For example, Turkey and other European countries. So any problem in one region affects also other regions. Let's think about pandemics. These pandemics, COVID-19, the origin of this pandemic is China. However, it affects all the countries, all the people in the world. Also, this is valid for pollution, global warming, climate change, and all the other things. So we should think global, but act local. I want to share here in the slide some basic facts and figures. You see here by 2050, 25, United Nations estimates two-thirds of the world's population will live in water-scarce areas. Also, carbon dioxide emissions rise from 0 to 35 million tons today. And about 8 million tons of plastic enter the oceans, Earth, every year. So these are the critical things. One more thing is Earth's temperature has risen by an average of about 2 degrees Fahrenheit in total. These are all important things. So what can we do? The responsible parts are people, I mean all of us. Also governments, I mean central authorities, and also local authorities, municipalities, and some national and international organizations like World Health Organization, United Nations, Greenpeace, and other organizations. Also, and lastly, we can count education institutions, including universities. Okay, why we should add global challenges to the higher education curriculum? Because, you know, universities are changed. They are not only education or research institutions anymore. We talk about societal impact today. So universities are educating people or students, not only national students, but also global students. And lastly, global challenges are interdisciplinary, requiring insights from various fields. For example, economics, politics, sociology, and other things. Okay, what's the position of Turkish universities in terms of United Nations SDGs? Especially Turkey and Turkish universities give utmost importance to the SDGs. Let's see current strategic plan of Turkish Higher Education Quality Council. In the first paragraph, the first sentence is higher education is directly related to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Also, other Turkish institutions like TÜBİTAK and other Turkish universities, including state and foundation ones, give importance to these goals. Okay, what is the position of Abdullah Gül University in terms of SDGs? Let me, before proceeding, let me